are you doing today? I'm doing another Witchy Wednesdays. I'm a little cold right now, so I got my little blanket on. My cat's visiting me. Let me see if I can turn you so you can see him. What's that? You can see his little head right here. That's his little head right here. He's visiting. So what I want to talk about this week is your connection with the elements. And I've seen some what I consider misinformation out there. So I wanted to talk about it. So, we have our four elements, air, water, earth, fire. Those are sort of the basic four. And a lot of people will feel more connected to one of them than the others. Some people may feel connected to all four. Some may only feel connected to two of them. There's all kinds of things, right? But I've seen recently a few conversations people had about it. Where someone was asking, well, how do I know which element I'm most connected to? Or which element I am, things like that, they would word it. And the response I would see would be, well, what's your zodiac sign? So like mine's Gemini. Gemini's an air sign. So then they would respond with, well, then you're air. And I consider that to be misinformation. So let me explain. If that works for you, if you're a Gemini like me, and you truly feel, most connected to air, then great. That worked. That worked well for you. But I feel like there's so much more to it than just your zodiac sign. First of all, when people talk about zodiac signs, they're just talking about the sun sign, right? The position of the sun in relation to the planets and houses and all of that whenever you were born. So, but there's so many other things in your natal chart if you actually get your natal chart for astrology. Maybe your sun sign is Gemini, but maybe the rest of your chart is dominated by earth signs. So because of that, you might actually feel more connected to earth than air, right? That's one thing that you may want to look at. Another thing is your past lives. If you believe in past lives, or even just past events that have happened in this life. Maybe you're a Pisces, which would be water, or a Cancer, which is also water. But maybe in a previous life, or in this life even, you had an experience where you almost drowned. So you don't feel connected to water at all. Maybe you feel more connected to fire or something. So there's a lot of things that can affect what element you're most affected with, or most connected with. For a long time, I did think I was most connected with air. I am a Gemini. I felt that water was like right there underneath air, though, because I felt very connected with water. And then I felt fire was next, and then earth was kind of at the bottom. I never really felt connected with earth. But I've recently realized that I actually am connected with earth and never really realized it. I feel connected with all four. So if you're trying to find out what element you're most connected with, I suggest looking at your likes, your interests. Look at things like that and see if those fit into elements. So for example, I never really realized that I was connected to earth. But I thought about it one day and realized rocks and crystals I've been quite interested in my entire life. When I was a child, I would gather rocks from outside. We had a lot of sandstone where I lived as a child most of the time, and I would find little sandstone rocks that I liked the way they looked, and I would bring them inside. So that is one way to see if you're connected to the earth element. Do you like rocks and stones? Do you like being outside? Do you like trees? Do you like plants, herbs, flowers? Anything that is earthy. For me, I'm not a fan of being outside, which is one of the reasons I didn't think I was very connected to earth. But I do like to bring earthy things in my home. I just don't want to be out there. I don't like the sun, and I don't like bugs. I have a little bit of a phobia with bugs, especially bugs that can fly or jump. I will run screaming. It's true. I've been chased by a bee more times than I remember. So I still put Earth down at the bottom because I feel like if you're really connected with Earth, you probably would like to be outside. And I don't. But I do know I have a connection with Earth because I love crystals and rocks and such. For fire, do you like burning candles? Is that one of the things you like to do to relax? Maybe like when you're taking a bath, or maybe anytime you're doing any type of spell work or rituals or meditation or something like that, you always like to have a candle burning. Do you like to do spells that involve fire? There's a lot of like releasing type spells where you do something like write what you want to release on a piece of paper and then burn that piece of paper. That would be fire magic. Ask yourself those kinds of questions to see how connected to fire you are. I feel fire is kind of like my third one because I am fascinated by fire. I do love to have candles burning. I have done some spells, releasing spells with fire, like I mentioned. A similar thing with earth, going back to earth for a moment, would be writing something down and then burying it in the earth. So if you like that kind of thing, that would also tell you something about your earth connection. So burning it would be fire, burying it would be earth, of course. I've seen spells where you take like a bay leaf, write what you want on it, and then burn it. That would be a fire sort of spell too. I would kind of be combining fire and earth because the bay leaf would be earth. So that's fire and earth. For water, which I've only recently realized is actually my number one, not air. For water, just think of all the ways you like or don't like water. Do you like to take baths to relax? Do you like to take showers? Do you like to go to the beach and, get in the water? Do you like the rain? Anything to do with water like that. So, for me, I have always found water to be very relaxing. I really started figuring this out when I listened to a guided meditation on YouTube, and it was very like ocean water themed. There's ocean waves playing throughout it, and the theme of it involves, being on the beach at the ocean at night. And so I started realizing that water was more to me than I thought it was. Ever since then, if I'm not doing that meditation, when I meditate, I do like to play ocean waves or rain. I've always loved the rain. I've always found the sound of rain to be very relaxing to me. I've always found baths to be relaxing. A similar type of releasing spell for water would be maybe when you are in the shower, you visualize the water just washing all the negativity off of you. Something like that, and then it's just all going down the drain. So that would be kind of a releasing water magic spell. So look at how much you enjoy or don't enjoy water. Maybe you hate taking showers or baths. Maybe you really dislike the rain, If that's the case, then, maybe you're not that connected to water. Alright, last we are going to look at air. I'm actually pulling up my natal chart to give you more insight into that. So air I find to be the more difficult one to look at to see how connected you are to it. So With earth, there's rocks and crystals and being outside. With fire, there's, candles. With water, there's so many sources of water around us to see if you enjoy those. Air, I feel, is a little different. I feel air is a little harder to see how connected you are to it. One of the things I look at for air is incense. As incense is a good representation of air with the smoke. When you're outside, do you like feeling the breeze on you, or do you not like feeling the wind on you? How connected do you feel to the wind? The main thing I look at with air, though, is what the air element represents, okay? So earth element represents physical things, the body, your job, your finances, your school, food, like physical things. Fire represents passions, ideas, that spark, things along those lines, creativity. Water represents emotions. It represents your connection to the divine. It represents intuition, things along those lines. Air represents intellect, communication, thoughts, those types of things. So if you feel like you have an affinity to that realm, if you've always considered yourself intelligent or intellectual, a good communicator, that type of stuff, you might be more connected with air. So that's really how I look at the four. Now, going back briefly to natal charts, I'll tell you more of what I mean. That even looking at your entire natal chart is not the end-all be-all for what sign or what elements you are most connected with. So my chart, for example, when you look at it and break it all up, I have the sun plus 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. I have the sun plus 4 other planets that are in air signs. That my chart is dominated by air signs, and I do feel very connected to the air element. My next sort of largest would be Earth, though. My moon is in Taurus, Mars is in Taurus, and my rising, let's just call it that. For some reason I can't say ascendant right now. My rising is Virgo, so I have 3 earth signs in my chart. I only have 1 fire sign. Neptune's in Sagittarius for me. And I only have 2 water signs. Mercury's in Cancer and Uranus is in Scorpio. So if you just looked at those numbers, you would think I'm air, possibly followed by earth, maybe followed by water, and then fire would be the last one. But that's not correct. I actually feel that water is my strongest. I feel air and water are really close to being equal. They're almost tied for first. They're kind of like right there together. Then I feel fire is next, and then earth. I'm not 100% on the earth and fire being in that order, because I've only recently realized I'm more connected to earth than I thought. My altar over here has multiple crystals. I do always burn a candle also, though. I don't have a ton of candles sitting around because I don't burn like 5 candles at once. I probably would if I didn't have cats. But, well, I know my cats would never stick their face in fire because they would feel the heat. They will turn around and swish their tail in anything. They have no idea where their tail is going at any time. So, I don't know. Fire, I don't know. I don't know which order I put fire and earth in, honestly. Basically, I consider air and water number 1 for me, and fire and earth number 2. That's how we're doing it. We're putting them in pairs, all right? Air and water together would be like thunderstorms, because it's very windy. So that's fun. Anyway, I didn't think this video would be this long, but the main reason I wanted to do it is to clear up misconceptions around how to find what element you're associated with or you're connected with the most. It is not as simple as what's your sun sign. It's not even as simple as looking at your full chart. But that is something you could use as a starting point, you know. I'm a Cancer, I'm not, but as an example, if you were a Cancer and Cancer is water, you might start with water. How close do I feel to water? How connected do I feel to water? That might be a good starting point. For me as a Gemini, air. I got a lot of air in my chart. Lots of air in my chart. So, alright. If you have any questions about elements, elemental associations, correspondences, how to find out which one you're connected with, anything about elements, feel free to leave me a comment below. I do read all comments, so if you have any questions, I will see it and I will answer it to the best of my ability. Okay? Thank you so much for being here with me for another Witchy Wednesdays. I am going to be changing the name of my channel, I have decided. But I haven't figured out what I'm changing it to yet. So, we'll see. Alright. I will see you guys next time. I also plan on doing another deck review probably this week on one of my other decks I haven't covered yet. Probably one of the Oracle decks. We'll see. I will see you in my next video. Take care of yourselves. That's it. Bye.